Years ago, the Guam Environmental Protection Agency issued its first notice of violation against Joseph Taitano. He was caught running an illegal dump on his property in Jigo in 2004, backfilling an old quarry on his lot with construction debris, metallic waste, junk vehicles and parts, white goods as well as green waste. Of critical concern to Guam EPA is that Taitano's land sits over the island's northern aquifer and main source of drinking water. During last night's hearing, Guam EPA environmental specialist Don Kanata and Guam EPA Administrator Ivan Kanata gave the board a chronology of events from what transpired since the NOV was issued and why it's taken all these years to get to this point. GEPA Representative Assistant Attorney General William Bishop.
He filed this notice of appeal with the board before there even was a fine imposed. I think it was his intention, his desire to roll this all into one hearing, into one appeal where we actually present the evidence and then request a fine of the board.
Taitano wasn't present to share his side of the story, and neither was his attorney, Curtis Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt today says he and his client weren't properly notified of the special meeting.
They send me email from the secretary to the director of GEPA. Well, that's not the notice that's required under the law.
Despite their no-show, the board has overseen Guam EPA's proposed corrective action plan that orders Taitano install 2 groundwater monitoring wells, sample the wells semi-annually, install chain-link fencing around the perimeter of the quarry, and submit an adjusted penalty of $312,000 within 60 calendar days. The maximum he could have been assessed was $2.3 million. The fine doesn't include how much Gov Guam spent last year when the illegal dump caught fire and a state of emergency was declared.
The agency is seeking is actually for the last 4 violations, alleged violations, $1,000 per violation per day from September 26, 2008 through March 3rd, 2009. The reason why the agency is asking for the violations for the fine for that time frame is because we are aware that there was some procedural snafu in this case, and that Mr. Taitano has a motion filed to have the case dismissed because of something that happened after March 3rd, 2009. So to be on the safe side, what the agency is requesting is that the fines be imposed from the time frame before that potential procedural snafu took place.
Vanderbilt says his client has already been working to right the wrongs of his past. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the documents to prove it, as his house was destroyed by arson on Thanksgiving Day. Vanderbilt isn't sure if his client will be able to recover the records, but upholds that the case be dismissed.
You had the change of administration. Nothing happens until I get a notice about a hearing in August. So over 7.5 months go by. Finally, they want to do something again. All of this delay has worked to the prejudice of Mr. Taitano.
Taitano has an opportunity to appeal the proposed penalties. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Park.